Yes, I told you to come up.
Okay.
And I want you to look at them.
All right.
They're dressed up. I mean, this is nice for Florida, right? Look at it.
Yes.
It's in a nice location. Everybody's here. So I want to read a quote. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes, that when you're feeling stressed out in life, when you're, I don't know, worried about anything, when you're, I don't know, anything. I love this. It's from Kurt Vonnegut, and he said, "I urge you to please notice when you're happy and exclaim or murmur or think at some point, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is." This is nice. They've come, they love you, they're celebrating you. So let's hear from Lydia and hear what she has to say a little bit for us. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. We were kind of partying last night, so if I sound like I'm 95, it's just too much sangria at ceviches, but that's okay. Our current students didn't hear that.
I'm just moving the microphone a little.
Thank you, Professor Limpkin. Can everyone hear me? I'm hearing a feedback, but that's okay. I can hear myself twice, right? There's certain rules we have in life, and one of those rules, of course, is we say what the rule is, that we're breaking it, and therefore it makes it all right. And so one of the most dangerous things one can do from a podium is single out certain people to recognize, because you're going to make 100 people unhappy. Unbeknownst to me, for over a year, people have been working for today and what will be much later in the next 5 years. They did it without my knowledge. They did it without my direction. And we can thank them. I think the committee will agree with me to single out 2 members of that committee. They're ladies who've been an important part of my life for 12 and 15 years. So let's give it up for Lauren Furry. And Kathleen King. Now, those of you who know me well know I could talk all afternoon, and you're thinking, well, please somebody tell her not to talk all afternoon. Dustin's over there, but the food is really good. But I'm from the great state of John C. Calhoun, a hometown of Jesse Jackson. I'm proud to say my family members did join me. I want to introduce them individually. From South Carolina, by way of Texas, my brother, Sam. Where's Sam? There he is. My cousins, Margaret and Vaughn, Natalie and Gordon, and Dale. I very much appreciated them coming in last night. So thank you very much. It's so hard to thank everybody, but that's just the way it is. Nothing can be done by ourselves, and while I'm amazed at the kind words that have been said about me, never did any of this by myself, ever, ever, ever. In fact, there was a committee, and Susan Herbout was in the very first beginning of that committee. We met for 2 years and worked on this idea of an honors program. The committee sent me to a Southern Regional Honors Council conference. Incidentally, it was in South Carolina. And it was there that I realized we needed an honors program for our students. The citizens in Hillsborough County deserve that kind of opportunity. In a community college, we serve the community, thus the word community. But we hadn't addressed the academically talented segment. And so we realized that this is what we needed to do. It was at that conference, however, that I talked to honors students and I talked to professors and directors and realized we really needed to serve our college better. And so I went back to that 18-member committee and we hammered out the honors program. Before all of that, HCC has always been a part of my life in some way. I never dreamed, never thought about teaching at HCC. Never thought about it. I supported HCC. I served on committees for HCC, recruited for HCC. I owned retail stores in Plant City. I didn't think I was going to, why would I teach? But for many women of my generation, if not most, because now you know I'm really old, like you couldn't tell before, when we chose a career, we chose it so we could combine it with our children. And so when we realized we were going to have a child, I started thinking about, well, wait a minute, I want to do something that I can still be a good wife and a good mother. And HCC was there. So I started teaching as an adjunct, met Mary Beth and the English tutor. We've been best friends since then. Taught part-time, and then in 1980 was able to get a teaching position at the Plant City campus. Perfect life, perfect life. Run children to school, teach 5 classes back to back, pick them up from school, take them, do their activities, grade papers until 3 in the morning. It was a great life. We were able to do community service. We were just, it was a perfect life. If you haven't been to the Plant City campus, you need to go. Not that the other 4 campuses lack anything. No. What was a blessing was to be able to work at HCC and to serve and to meet people and all of that opportunity, but also to know that I was enriching my children's lives. And so Justin and I started when he was 8, making an annual international trip. It's not an accident that international travel is part of the honors program. He also loved community service. Well, before he saw light of day, he was doing community service. He didn't know it. After he was born, community service, community service. At age 13, he had earned his Eagle Scout, which is the youngest a young man can earn Eagle Scout. His Eagle Scout project was about people. He wasn't coordinated, so he couldn't be swing sets or whatever. And so his activity was so indicative of who he was, an outgoing kid, loved people and loved his community and service. A few months after he turned 15, he died. And so that year, 1991, in the United States alone, children between age 15 and 19, 15,313 children died. So there's nothing unusual or special when someone's lost a child. We just join a group of people, and we have to be careful not to define ourselves for the rest of our lives. And so, once again, the college answered that need for me when I realized we could have an honors program, and that would be my personal, in my heart, a way of recognizing Justin. And so I have. With every activity, I go, you like it, Justin? You'd like this, right? And so that was just my personal, nobody really knew, I didn't think. Then I go into DROP. For those of you not from Florida, it's a horrible acronym for you're going to retire in 5 years. What a drop? Anyway, I started now thinking, okay, I'm not going to be employed at HCC. I'm not going to be a part of the Honors Institute. How am I going to pay homage to Justin? What can I do to continue that? And my friends Mary Beth and Lauren and Kathleen came up with this beautiful idea. And so I'm very, very grateful and humble that the program will be named after me and therefore always for Justin, and the endowed scholarship in Justin's name. I appreciate that. Farouk's already given you the thing about money. But just know that whatever we do, it's always about people. It's always about people. All the forms and all the whatever you do, it's always about people. And so I thank you for this day, and I thank you for your ideas and certainly your kindness. Then in the words of the King, not Kathleen King, not Martin Luther King Carter, Elvis, thank you. Thank you very much.